Hello everybody, welcome to Straight Line Racing, here for round 3 of Season 5 here in China. This is the T1 tier of course. And look who it is, it's Alex, our Season 3 champion. He is back and looking to get a bit of vengeance for an awful last season. Anyway, I'm just going to Owen Wyatt, and with me in the box, it's Ben Gallagher.
Hello everyone, welcome along today, hoping to see some good racing today here in Tier 1.
No, I'm trying to make sure the stream's actually up. It was lagging a bit before, but now it's finally got up,
Yeah.
so I hope you've got the intro, but if you didn't get the intro, it's pretty easy to see what's going on anyway. And we're just entering the final runs of qualifying. And one thing I've noticed instantly, Millix Jr., he's equal on top with 4 in, but he's actually went out on ultras. Now, you said to me before that these aren't the greatest tyre, are they?
These are a pretty terrible tyre last night, as I learned the hard way last night. I was the only one who qualified in the ultra softs, and I soon found out why, having to pit on lap 3, because those things were like soap. They were like ice after 3 laps, and yeah, as a result, you probably have to do an extra stop if you're on the ultras. So they're a pretty terrible tyre.
So Millix does look like he's going to back off actually basically instantly, so maybe he's going to go against his idea. He is top of course, so maybe he feels that he can, you know, maybe slack off a little bit, but these are the top guys now starting their laps, and they, you know, on mediums were pretty close to him, so they'll gain approximately maybe a second on these softs, and that would put Millix, that would put Millix right down to, you know, what, 10th, 11th if he doesn't do a lap now, so we'll wait and see what he does.
Yeah, not time to either, because he won't get in time, so Alex is on his lap on the softs.
Already nearly 4 tenths up in the first sector. Yeah, Millix is in trouble.
Yeah, he's gonna go tumbling down, you would imagine. There's a lot of soft runners starting their laps below him. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, there you go.
Now, one thing I'm noticing here with Alex, I think this may actually be a second lap on the tyres, and he did this first time round as well on the mediums, where he just took a lap to prepare and then went again for a second run. So it's an interesting tactic we're seeing from him and no one else as far as I'm aware. So we'll see how that works out for him.
I think we saw Thorium doing that last week on the harder tyres. So maybe as soon as he's in the other Force India, maybe he's learned that from Thorium. It's hard to know, but softs are quite a bit up in hardness, I suppose, than from the ultras. They're only a little bit softer than the mediums, really. So maybe they just need that extra outlap. But Alex coming across the line now. It's a 30.9. It's pole.
Now, one thing I've noticed there, he ran out of ERS right at the end there, and that's as Alex goes quickest on ultras. That could cost him possibly to his teammate, because he's got just about enough ERS to get to the line, and that does give him the extra little edge to pass his teammate. And you'd think that, you know, running out a few meters before the line wouldn't cost you much, but you instantly start to slow down the second you run out there, so that could have cost him more than you'd maybe expect. But yeah, 2 tenths off his teammate then. Alex Musica currently on pole. We're still waiting for some laps. There's Mebe and Thomas out there on ultras, and I just wonder, is Thomas actually going to make it to start a lap? Is he going to get there? He's got 20 seconds. I think he's not going to make it, so he's misjudged that a little bit.
Will be close. He probably won't make it, actually, you know, yeah. And he probably won't want to on the ultra softs, to be perfectly honest, because like I said, it's a lot slower on strategy. It is.
Oh dear, he was setting his lap up, but he's just realised he's run out of time. Oh dear. Oops.
Small mistake.
Mebe pits. He's in 10th at the moment. He's betting on no one passing him, and he would start to, maybe he actually wants maybe just to fall to 11th though. Maybe it's better. He'll just choose his tyres from there.
Coming around the final corner now comes Speedster on the soft tyre. It's looking promising. It's only P5, which is a bit disappointing for Speedster, I would have thought, who at the end of last season certainly had quite dominant pace. He has told us, I think, though, that he is a bit down on practice.
Yes, I think he mentioned it earlier. Not really to expect much from him today, unfortunately. And this is a real shame, actually. We're seeing Ferrari in our 5th and 6th on the grid. And, I mean, they've had a... There's no way to describe it. They've had a disastrous start to the season. And they're really trying to make up some time, but it just isn't happening for them. I mean, they had the disastrous start in Australia, of course, of a 1-2, and it just all went horribly wrong. And then last week sort of unfolded for them pretty badly as well. So they really need a bit of a resurgence this week, because they have two very quick drivers, and they're letting Forium get away. And especially now with Alex up there, our two most recent champions, they could theoretically just pull away there. I mean, they're the top two drivers in the sauce there, so bit of a worry for Ferrari to be this low.
It is indeed. I'm not really sure what's going on with them really. I mean, suppose Speedster in 2 of the races anyways. Maybe one of them was pre-season, but he's been down on practice. Maybe that has something to do with it, but yeah, it's just nothing seems to be going right for them at this point in the season. After a dominant end to last season, they would have been championship contenders if they had joined earlier in the season. It's just not clicking for them ever since pre-season.
Well, the race is coming up now, so hopefully we can see them have some fight. I mean, Alex Musica at the front, of course, on Ultras will... he's a bit of a wild card. We'll see what he does on, presumably, a 2-stop strategy. And, yeah, maybe as well in 10th. He did stay in top 10 with medium, so there's a few different strategies which could shake the field up a little bit. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what these guys do. You got Danny down in the chat saying that he bottled his lap. I don't know where he ended up in the McLaren, but sure we'll find out. That's another driver that is returning today, by the way, from last season, Danny. And he was also a very quick driver. He was always promising victory, but never quite got there, I don't think. So
yeah, at his best he was quite up there, yeah. To be fair to him, but yeah, like you say, it just didn't really click for him. Didn't all come together. So yeah.
So we just wait to see what the drivers do, but obviously the skies are looking a little bit grey. I just wonder if the likes of Mebe and others will be considering rain later on. I don't know if it's going to happen. It may just stay like this the whole race, but Milik's wanting to qualify in mediums is an interesting choice, let's say.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to go after the people on the mediums at the end, I suppose. But you might be relying on people getting slowed down by traffic and battles and that sort of thing in the early stints, so I can try to stay with the pack, DRS trains, that sort of thing. Just try and stay with the pack on the harder tyres in this first stint and try to go after the pack and see where he can end up in the second, and right up to the end of the race. So we'll see where he ends up. It will be interesting.
I would say with the way this track is, maybe it isn't a bad place to try different strategies, because we've already got that kilometre long straight. If you're getting DRS there, you're gonna get past, really. So maybe he's gonna plan Daniel Ricciardo style, just cruising through the field like we saw last year. And yeah, we'll see what these guys all do. But anyway, let's quickly go through the grid then. We've got Alex Musica on pole. He's on Ultras, so expect him to try something a bit different today. Then we've got the 2 Force Indias of Forium and Alex, 2 and 3, and our 2 most recent champions right up there at the front. Then we have 2 Williams, R2, and Nick Nike, 4th and 5th. We've got Speedster and Surface in the 2 Ferraris. And yeah, like we said before, they're looking for a bit of a resurgence today, so we'll see what they do. Danny in P8 in his McLaren, making his return to the tier. Then we've got Blunt and Milik, so 2 Hasses, and remember, Milik is on the Ultra strategy, so we're going to see something a little bit different from him today. The sole Mercedes of CYP up there in 11th, first of the new tyre choices, so we'll see what he does from there. Mebe in 12th, we've got Mystic Man in 13th with his teammate on mediums, only second of 2 drivers on the mediums in 14th there. Then we've got 6 Seals in 15th, and Evos right there at the back in 16th, and they're all forming up on the grid now, and we're getting ready.
It's a bit of a glitch with Evo for me is Balaclava is floating over his car on my screen. It's a bit odd, but we'll glance over that.
That's luckily I don't have that on my stream, so
yeah,
the viewers don't have to Look at that. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's not nice.
he's there on his grid spot now, and we wait to see them. We've got 28 laps ahead of us here in Shanghai, and the lights are on ahead of drivers. We've got 5 now. Lights out, away we go. It's a decent start from Forium, looking to try and take the advantage already into turn 1, side by side, nearly contact. Who comes out there ahead? You would expect Alex Musica to have more pace.
The Williams and the
And Forium on the inside. That'll turn to the inside for Alex Musica. Look out for Alex in all this as well. Alex Musica should keep ahead here. And yes, this is going to get confusing. 2 Alexes in the top 3. I'll try and work around it though. But it is the Cyber ahead at the moment. But Forium still trying to find a way through. Decent defending there from Alex Musica. He really had to do that, because if he lost the lead at the start, that could really have thrown his strategy into a bit of a mess. That doesn't necessarily mean the pressure's gone, of course, but it's good to get through the start phase. And look at that surface. Surface is falling backwards already, isn't it?
Speaking of a mess, he's right down to 10th place. He just dropped right back through the pack there at turn 2. Not sure what happened.
Oh my goodness, that's a car. Oh, big.
Torosso out.
Maybe in the wall.
Maybe.
And
could have lost on the AstroTurf there, I'm not sure. Oh, Renault into the back of the Red Bull, Mystic Man.
just got to point this out as we see Alex go wide. We've got 2 Hasses in 4th and 5th. They've both made 5 places. That's incredible.
That is pretty great, and I'd say that has something to do with the Ferraris going far a bit back the way as well. There was contact between the Williams, which might have allowed them a bit of space. There's a Mercedes down the inside. He could have damaged his front wing there. That's CYP down the inside of Nick Knight, I think. Yeah, it was. Nick Knight holds the position for now.
So Blunt is putting the pressure then on to Alex here into turn 1. Only 2 tenths separating them. And if he gets himself into the podium places early on, he could possibly gain off Forium as well, being sort of stuck behind Alex Musica. It could be an interesting race for him. If he just stays patient, he could benefit quite a lot. But at the moment, he certainly does look like he's got the pace. His teammate in 5th, what a great start for him, on mediums as well, especially. If he stays up there, he's looking...
Him, yeah.
If he stays up there, he's looking at a very good afternoon indeed.
Yeah. Like we were saying with him in the formation up on the mediums, this is the dream start that he needed to make that strategy work, and I could play a treat for him really here from this position.
So just looking on a surface at the moment, he doesn't seem to have any damage, so it must have just been a slow start off the line. Speedster stayed in 6th, I think that's where he qualified. So yeah, just need to see these guys. They have to be patient for Ferrari today, because that's what they've struggled with. They sort of got on with it too quickly and made mistakes. And today they just need to keep their heads down. So we'll see what they get up to as they try and climb through the field. But Alex Musica has to try and get this to 1 second now before DRS is enabled. At the moment it's just 9 tenths of a second, and we've still got a good half a lap before we see DRS enabled. And well, he has to pass man out there, so it should be easy enough to get there, and he has now. So yeah, important for his race there to make sure he's not being put under pressure early, because as you say, these tires die early. Yeah,
it will be in these next 2 or 3 laps that he starts losing grip in the corners, and he's lost 2 tenths in that first 4 corners already. So he's starting to lose time to Thorium already, because those ultra softs melt. Interesting to see where Melix ends up on the pit stops, because he'll be pitting much later than the rest.
Oh, Danny! There's a bit of lag there. He tries down the inside, sorry to interrupt, but he does get by CYP. It was a bit laggy. He's got sort of the alien indicator having a meltdown there. I don't know what exactly is going on. Hopefully he doesn't DC on us. But
he's teleporting a small bit, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how he sort of gets around that. But yeah. Does it, and tires aren't going to die. Lap 3, just as it happened to you, and we've got Forium right on the back. He's going to take his ERS right up to overtake mode. You can expect the Rich Mix to be on as well, as Danny does DC, unfortunately. And first attempt on DRS for Forium. Will he get it done first time round? Is it necessary? But I'm sure he will if he can. Down the inside, has a little look. Alex Musica moving on to braking a little bit. You could say that was a bit mean, but he does stay ahead as a result. And this is where the guys behind come in. If they just stay patient, Forium is going to have to fight this one for a little bit longer, at least a sector or two. So they just need to close up. Don't fight each other and get involved with this one. Because into turn 1, there's nowhere for Forium to really get through unless Alex Musica makes a mistake, which he does. And Forium takes the lead. Ah.
That's sheer mechanical grip that won it for Thorium there. Alex just slid out wide on those worn soft tyres, or ultra soft tyres, excuse me, and he'll want to be pitting this lap before he loses too much time.
So, Alex 20 right on the back, look of Alex Musica already, and you can see the Cyber is just sliding around the track, isn't he? So we will see.
Indeed, yeah.
We'll see if he holds on through the DRS zone. It does look a little unlikely, but he should get the toe off for him anyway. Just he doesn't want to get swamped because that is where your race does get ruined, unfortunately. And I'd assume he's probably going to do 2 soft stints though. You know, sort of 2 12 lap stints.
Some cars last season, I remember, did an ultra soft to medium strategy, which the tires
my goodness!
Oh, big slide! Whoa, he's so hard to hold that, but he's got Alex up alongside him now. Blunt might try to get involved with this. We're 3 wide down the back straight. Blunt on the inside, Alex on the outside. You got Alex Music on the inside, he could get jumped by 2 here. Alex are on the outside, Alex Music loses out, Blunt takes the lead, takes 2nd place. Alex Music should dive into the pits here, and he does.
And that's what I was saying about Blunt. If he just stayed patient, he would get the advantage, and that's exactly what's happened ahead of Alex now. And we've got Force India and Haas dominating this race so far, as it's turned out. 1-3 and 2-4 for the 2 teams respectively. Pretty impressive, but Alex is still trying to pressure Blunt to try and get back past. We'll see what he does. All this time, Forium is getting away, but Alex should have a run. Trying a Vettel style move here, but instead he just runs into the side. That's not going to help him get past. Look out for Milix Jr. now. His mediums are going to be starting to come into their own in the next few laps as the softs start to wear. But I mean, he's 4th already, could be 2nd very soon. I mean, this is working out brilliantly for him. I can see him winning this race from here now.
He could do, because in reality he's less than 3 seconds. He's about 3 seconds, sorry, to Thorium. And he's gonna
Alex!
Softer type.
Contact there with Blunt, and we've got Milix past 1. Will he pass his teammate on the same straight? He should do. He'll have a great exit and a DRS. This should be a rather easy move. And the 2 Haases are going to go for it. P2, look out for Alex. We could see another free abreast situation, but Blunt stays close to the inside. Alex has to try on the outside. He decides against it. Milix Jr. up into P2. By the end of the lap, exactly to plan.
Speedster's gone past Nick Knight in the same corner. Alex Music has had an awful mistake in the pits. He's put on the wet tyres, so he's left the session as a result.
Didn't even notice that.
Speedster getting by Nick Knight in the same corner there.
Nick Knight comes back there. Look at the straight line speed of that Williams. And then back up the inside. That could be the chance, but he's not quite there yet. But yeah, Alex Music got on wet. I didn't even realise that. That's extraordinary.
Yeah, I only checked it when he left the session. But yeah, someone's getting sacked for that move.
Yes. Oh, was that a car off? Speedster in the wall.
That's a car off.
And, well, it's fallen apart again for him, hasn't it? Quite literally. And
I didn't see that accident there. I imagine he's been hit because that's in a heavy braking zone.
Well, I think they were just side by side through. I think T5 maybe just got connected their wheels. They were very close. I think it was Nick Knight who was the guy behind. Just watching it back on the stream now, and we'll see. Nick Knight was the guy behind. Sticks it on the inside. They connect. Could have even been a desync, you know. But either way, it's put Speedster in the wall, and yeah, ruined his race. And yet another disaster for the Ferrari team, who looked so quick once upon a time. It's just like the real team. Oh dear.
It's a bad era to be a Ferrari fan.
It is.
Was Milix ahead of Blunt?
Yes, he got by on the last lap. Now,
Milix here, 7 laps, has gone from 10th right up to second place, and he's on the medium tires. So this is like, yeah, I'd be interested to see where he ends up.
What we should see
You're
now,
saying?
really, in the next sort of 5 or 6 laps, we should see this gap close now between Thorium and Millix, as these mediums will not really die until maybe 15, 16 laps in, while these softs maybe about 10. So we'll see what happens. We'll see exactly how this pans out, but as I said, it's looking very good indeed for the Haas boys today. They should get the 2 cars on the podium as long as it stays like this. Didn't expect that, having qualified, what, 9th and 10th, was it?
Yes, I think it was, yeah. Or 10th and 11th, something like that. They were alongside each other anyways. Yeah. We're just keeping an eye on the gap between Millix and Thorium now these next few laps. Millix will be dragging his teammate along with him as well, which could bring him into contention, and as a result they're losing Alex is losing time to them behind. There's a bit of a train developing there, so we could have a bit of battle on our hands if there's any mistakes made out of them four.
Look how quickly Blunt is closing onto the back of Millix. He may have a look on the inside. Millix doesn't exactly defend it. Doesn't want to really get into too hard of a battle with his teammate, but Blunt gets past under braking then. And they certainly have no following issues there, unlike last week. Thank God for that.
Yeah. There's a small bit of contact I saw between Millix and Blunt. Millix was a bit fast out the exit of the corner. I don't think there was any damage, but it was just a little tap. Because Blunt went down the inside.
Now, while the 2 Haas's are fighting, we've got CYP and R2 having a fight as well. And if you notice, I think the the front nose, most of it's come off actually for R2. Looks like it's been in the back there. Maybe that's just the way the camera is. Don't know if that's just me or not, but maybe it's been in the back a little bit. We'll see him have a go though at some point. Could just be visual for me, that.
Yeah, I don't see anything abnormal, but yeah, it's hard to know what the hell's real in this game nowadays. But there should be a bit of a fight there down the kilometre-long back straight between CYP and R2. You see CYP sort of, the rear end is sort of dancing around a small bit in that fast second sector. So let's see what happens down the back straight. Millix is still very close to his teammate as well, fighting for second.
Now he's let his ERS bar fill all the way up to 100%, and he isn't really using it yet. So he's now started to put it up a little bit, but not really in the mood to pass his teammate. He's certainly got way more than the front 2, so he certainly is playing the long game here. He's not pulling any punches just yet, is he?
He's not. No, I imagine his teammate at this point might be a small bit faster on the slightly softer tires. I imagine he'll almost stay behind maybe until Blunt hits, and then that's when he'll go for it. For his stop onto the softs, I'd imagine.
So this is really looking like it's going to be a proper strategic battle here between the top 3, really. Any of these 3 could come out on top. And that's, of course, not considering any safety cars or anything like that. That could also shake it up a bit too. We got a few close battles which could produce that. So we will see how it all pans out. Certainly looks like Surface may actually try and catch R2 and CYP, who are all catching Nick. So we do have a little bit of a battle possibly brewing there. That could be resolved in the pits as well, of course, in a few laps' time. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, lap 9, Thorium in the lead from Blunt, Millix, Alex, Nick, CIP, RT, Surface, 6 Seals, and Downey. That's your top 10. And it's been shaken about quite a bit, actually, to be fair, on the position change. We've seen, I mean, the 2 houses made 7 places each. I think that tells you all you need to know about how they've been moving. CIP's made 5, 6 Seals made 6. Mental today, honestly. They've really been moving in the early stages.
They have indeed. Just about them 2 houses up front. The only problem about this is they're losing time to Thorium. They were 3.3 seconds back, I think, on lap 7 or 8, and now they're 4.5. So they're losing a bit of time to Thorium, which is not what they want, and it won't help their strategy all that much at all. Millix will be faster in the final stint.
Early stop for the Williams driver. Possible attempt at an undercut as well on Alex. We'll see buttons there, but this could certainly start to trigger the pit stop window for everyone. It should be medium tires for the Williams, and it is. So let's see just sort of how these mediums sort of act on a first lap out, because this gives Forium, Millix and the others really, or sorry, Blunt, well yeah, it gives everyone a good idea just how these tires handle on a first lap, because it may be like Spain, you see, where it could just be frozen tires in the first lap and you just lose out. There's Thomas, by the way, going right past it, like, so so I didn't have the grip to defend that one straight out of the pits, did he?
No, I didn't. They might take a good half a lap to get up to temperature. I wouldn't really. I don't really know the mediums very well. Nick Knight up the inside. Tumas, I think, locked up. And Nick Knight on the outside here for turn. I'm not sure what number it is. Maybe 6.
Millix Jr.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but Millix Jr. nearly lost it there, but he's going to be dancing past his teammate down the straight, using that extra energy saved to good effect, and passing his teammate once again. R2 may fancy a look on CYP as well. Down the inside he goes, nearly contact, possibly a little tap, certainly wasn't the exit anyway. And will these guys pit? They sort of have to pit if they want to keep position to Nick Knight, but no, they will stay out. The two of them, I don't think there was any option for them to pit, quite frankly. They were sitting side by side. Forium did pit, and still side by side. R2 on the inside finally gets past CYP into turn 1, but as you may imagine, that's going to lose them quite a lot of time. They've already lost nearly 2 seconds to Alex while fighting that, so not great for them.
So Nick Knight will really be laughing when these two R2 and CYP pit. He'll probably find himself out in front of them too. Meanwhile, Millix is taking the lead, and this is where Millix has got to go for it now. He's got clear air, he's got the best, he's probably the fastest car on track right now. This is where he makes up his time, and this could be where he gets up behind Thorium.
Thorium's got massive amounts of space though out there. Look at him, he's got 10 seconds really either way, so he's in a world of his own right now. Plenty of room to push it. And that will, I guess, help Blunt and Millix as well. They will fall into that same very nice gap, you'd imagine. But yeah, Millix Jr.
So
is starting to pull away now.
It's 17.8 seconds behind Millix, so it's a bit less than a pit stop. So it could be close. But Millix does have a bit of time to make up if he wants to get out of the pits ahead of him.
Just the issue
a lot of time to make up.
Where is this traffic going to come from for Forium? Because if he was going to come into traffic, it probably would have happened around now as Blunt pits. So, I mean, he could find himself in a very nice position for him, where he just has the whole track to himself for a long time here.
Like you say, Blunt has just gone into the pits, so I don't think he will, but that might end up coming out in front of him. Speedster's out of this race, and that's a big accident with Evos as well. And I just wonder if that was deliberate. I hate to say that, but look where they've ended up. I mean, Speedster's way off, and Evos is off there with him. That doesn't strike me as an accident, to be honest with you. Yeah, Speedster doesn't. I mean, like you say, I don't want to make any presumptions, but McLaren's side by side out of the pits. Danny and 6 Seals. Danny on the inside through turn 3. 6 Seals hold that position. But back to that incident with Speedster. Yeah, I don't want to make any presumptions. Evil's left as well, so I imagine there might be a bit of carnage in the
Danny.
PlayStation chat.
Just a bike gets past, but then 6 Seals on the exit. Oh, they've hit! Oh my goodness, that could have been an accident. And they're still side by side. They're really trying to go as long as possible. This is for genuine position. They've both made their pit stops, of course. This is for the last point. But yeah, I'm sure we'll figure out whose fault that was eventually. But it's certainly like one of them is sort of rounding everyone off, doesn't it?
There will be a steward's inquiry. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But surfacing on the back of CYP coming down the back straight, there's a big train of cars here. There could be a few battles, or is there?
Got the two McLarens.
It appears to be a DRS train. But yeah, McLaren's.
Forium goes a second on that lap to Millix, and down the inside they tries six seals. He was overtaken, but not quite. He's stayed ahead. More contact again between the two McLarens. They're really trying to kill each other right there, aren't they? But six seals just about stays ahead.
Oh, Danny nearly lost it there on the AstroTurf.
Oh, look at the run now. Oh, around the outside of turn one. How's your bottle? Let's see how he does it. He's going to have to stay there the whole time to get the run for turn 3, but he's going to maybe try the run all the way to the hairpin. He's setting this up, isn't he? Going for the exit, but then he has a bit of a slide, but he should still have a little bit more speed when he gets into slipstream. And then when Thomas gets involved and 10 lap older tyres, what's going to happen between these two then? Danny down the inside once again on his teammate. Six seals once again doing the switchback. And we're seeing a great wheel-to-wheel battle. They're hitting each other again. And side by side once again. That's going to be wide through six seals. But keeps him on the inside line. And then Danny got a bit flustered. Had a poor line into there. But it's not necessarily over yet. Because they're going to catch Thomas, who's going to be going much slower due to the fact his tyres are a whole 10 laps older.
He will do, and that could spice it up a little bit. We could have a bit of a battle on our hands. Danny is sliding all over the place. I'm not sure what's happening. It might be lag, but he's nearly gone off the track two or three times in that middle sector there after his battle with six seals. A bit of a DRS train here from 5th to 8th.
Yes.
I'm noticing.
But that was very good battling for the two McLarens. Shame it ended up with one of them going off the track, but I'm sure we'll probably see them two revisit each other in the near future. But yeah, they fought that one very hard and very cleanly, it has to be said.
Just keeping an eye on that fifth place battle.
I mean,
Hoping for something.
The bad news with CYP is that he was out of DRS. If he can get back in it, which he has now, then it helps him. But if he falls out again, he could find himself completely out of the battle. And
into the clutches of Surface behind him, who isn't quite a slouch.
And look at this.
Doesn't seem to be quite on the winning pace.
Sorry to interrupt again, but look at the McLarens. They're right back on the back of Thomas. And this is the issue. They've caught in a terrible spot. Oh man, we're going to see, I have a feeling we're going to see some free abreast action in a moment, if I'm honest with you. Looks like Six Seals is trying to get on with it. Down the inside, has a look, and there's Danny into the back of his teammate almost. And once again, these McLarens get very, very close. Round the outside tries Danny. Gonna have more contact. How can he have this much contact with your teammate and not crash? I don't know. But they're somehow keeping it clean. They've both got great runs on the back of Thomas, and I think we're going to see some free abreast action. Danny closing in as Six Seals closing on Thomas, and I reckon Danny's going to have to move out quite a bit here to try and figure out the best way to get by. Thomas harshly defends the inside line, and free abreast into the hairpin. Thomas stays ahead, he's not backing off. He won't be pitting for another few laps at least as well, but Danny has got his teammate at last. But as I say, this is far from over yet. Danny tries on the outside now, and if he can get through here, this could surely diffuse the battle for a little bit, and he has done. So Thomas, as I said, really proving to be a bit of an obstacle here for these guys, as Six Seals gets past as well.
Lovely little bit of battling there between the two McLarens on the Red Bull driver. As you said, Thomas is a bit out of the battle here because he's on much older tyres. But yeah, we're having some serious action down that back straight this race, as you would expect around here.
So the top two then, 14.7 seconds. Now you would think that this would be disaster for Millix, but you just got to remember he's going to be on some super fast tyres at the end of this race, and he's going to have more fuel as he pits now. In fact, going to have more fuel maybe to use if he's been saving earlier in the race, as I suspect he has. And more ERS to use on his outlap at least. As Forian once again, just like last week, is running his fuel right down to nothing. He almost ran out. He was nearly out of fuel on the final lap. He lost buckets on the last lap. So he really does need to make sure he doesn't do that again. But yeah, we'll see now. Let's see. Blunt, will he get his teammate on the main straight actually? I didn't really consider this one, but no is the answer to that one. Millix does stay ahead, so it will be a straight fight between the top two, hopefully. 5 lap fresher tyres, a faster compound, more fuel to use, more ERS to use, 7.5 seconds. Let's see what he can do.
This could be a good battle here. It's only 7 seconds to make up, which might seem like a big gap, but Milik's on the soft tyres. It's going to be a faster soft stint than Thorium's soft stint would have been, because it's a lighter car and he probably has more fuel built up to spend on this lap. He's going to be going on all cylinders now for these last 12 laps of this race.
So that DRS train is sort of broken off a little bit as everyone just tries to conserve tyres. Danny now after clearing his teammate 2.5 seconds clear. So I mean he was clearly the quicker driver. Sixty will certainly give it a good fight. But yeah, that should be the last of the pit stops for the top guys anyway. I mean we've still got 2 of them after pit. Evos is out of this one anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, only really 2 Master Pit now, and then everyone will be done. And it doesn't look like Red Bull will be really getting any points. Mystic Man, he had a just disastrous strategy. He was on ultras in the early stages. He made a pit stop early on, went for fastest lap. I think he probably didn't even get it as well. That's a shame for him. So he sat there in 12th, just in no man's land. His teammate will pit. So yeah, the top 10 should stay the way it is. Order, of course, maybe a little bit different because, as I said, Milik is going to be closing. In fact, he's already closed to second. So, just stay tuned.
Get spicy.
Just stay tuned, people. This is going to be.
It's going to get spicy. We're going right to lap 28 here in China.
And yeah, Thomas does make that inevitable pit stop. Just wondered though, will he actually get it ahead of his teammate? I mean, they may not be going for points here. He will get it ahead of his teammate. I think Mystic Man, because there's a front wing change happening. So, maybe a little bit of bragging rights there for the Red Bull battle, I guess. You know, see what you can get out of a race like this one.
Yeah, these guys are here to race. They don't care what they're racing for, really. At least I wouldn't. In the end, they're here because they enjoy it. So let's see what happens between them two. Tumas will be on faster tyres now, so it could be a little bit of battle there for 11th, but a battle nonetheless.
Now, Surface is just hundreds away from DRS. He's not quite there though when it mattered. He was actually close at the end of the middle sector, but he lost that time a little bit. In fact, he may have missed it by just 2 1/1000ths. I think he did honestly miss it by 2 1/1000ths. I'm not lying to you. Oh my goodness, how close do you want it to be? So he surely has some pace, but yeah, he needs to catch up, and oh my goodness, this is another second gone on this lap.
Oh.
I don't
Thorium
think...
is bricking it.
I don't think Haas have won a race since the first one last season with Mebe, so it's been a long time for these guys. And at the moment, they are really looking very competitive here. And Milik's is still got about half his bar of ERS. He's about equal now with Thorium, but Thorium is still burning his fuel. Like I said, he did this in the last race, and he had to slow so much just to make sure he got to the line. I don't know if he's sort of judged this correctly. I mean, it was okay last week, but he almost very nearly got a penalty. That's something we do to check, actually, penalties. I'll quickly have a look at that now, just to make sure, just see where they are. 1 warning for Thorium, and 2 warnings for Milik. So penalties could become a factor later on. But, you know, these guys are very skilled. They know what they're doing, so we'll see how that pans out later on. Surface. He's now under a second. Of course, that doesn't mean anything until he gets to the actual detection point, which is just on the entry, I think, of this corner here. You'll see the white line there. And he will have DRS this time round. And once you get into DRS, that keeps you right on the back of the guy for basically the whole of the next lap. This is probably to set up a move. This time round, next time, he should have a chance to actually go for the move, and that's why he's not actually using any of his ERS yet. That was purely to set up a move there. And that is for P7. So we'll see what happens there between the Mercedes and the Ferrari. Fighting a little bit lower than they maybe wanted to, but still closer than they got in real life. And that's Danny in Narnia. I don't quite know how he's got there, but he was in Narnia in the final corner. He doesn't want to do that because that'll end up in the wall eventually if he keeps doing that. Now, we're
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna have to start looking at the student battle soon, aren't they? They're closing much quicker than I was expecting. But the issue is Milik's he pitted a little earlier than I expected him to. He pitted on lap 15, I think. So he's gonna have to do what 13 laps on these tires. They're gonna be
Yeah.
dead at the end of this race, and you can see how he's pushing this. He's off the track. He's doing all sorts here just to catch up as quickly as possible. I think he knows.
Yeah.
I think he knows really that he has to get ahead and pull away. That's his only option here. If he just gets ahead in the last 5 laps, he's not gonna have enough time to pull away. So he has to do this maybe by probably 4 or 5 laps time. He has to be past him. So we'll see what he does. Well, yeah, he's gonna start piling that pressure on. I'm sure he is. I mean, Foreign's probably looking at that time thinking it keeps going down, it keeps going down. That's going to be unsettling.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of looking at the time going down, I said Surface was setting up a move last time round. He's now going to attempt to complete the move. He's on to overtake ERS, but just didn't have a good exit, did he? So he's not quite going to get the move done, but he is getting closer. And CYP not into DRS of Nick Nike, so yeah, he's got no real help coming anytime soon.
Yeah, he doesn't. Milik's there. He pulled just a reminder me of something he pulled off similar in Bahrain in pre-season. He started from the same position, 10th on a harder tyre. Had a great start, had a ridiculously good start, in 7 or 8 positions off the start on lap 1, and he went after Thorium in the end, but he didn't quite get in. And I think this could be a redemption day for Milik's if like you say he can get ahead and get a gap, because that's what he needs for the risk of penalties or anything like that, or for the chance that Thorium's tyres start to get into their element once Milik's start to die out and closing laps of the race.
Nick Nike's losing time. CYP's into DRS. Surfer's into DRS. We're seeing a bit of a DRS train that's starting to be formed once again with these guys. And that's going to be great fun to watch. We've got 9 laps for these guys to sort it out, and it's looking like it's getting closer every single time round. Milik's down the back straight, 3.2 seconds. He's still maybe not quite gaining a second per lap, but 2 or 3 laps of time he should be in DRS. By lap 24, I just expect him to be ahead. That's the issue. Like, if he isn't, he's just not going to have that much time, I don't think, to pull away. These tyres only have a limited lifespan. And yes, Forum's on 10 lap mediums. They aren't exactly going to be looking mince at the end either, but they're designed to go that far. Milik's is going to take these sauce a little further than they're meant to go.
A little, yeah. They're only really meant to be going maybe 10, 11, 12. 12 at a push. 13, you're pushing it a little bit. But Milik's really needs to push all the boundaries he's got at this point, because this is a win on the line here.
Oh, Nick got a little bit lucky down the main straight there with Evo's ghosted car, giving him some DRS to help pull away, and boy did he need it, because now Surface is pulled, he's gone from this battle. It's all about CYP. And newer tyres just seem to have sprung into life. They're only 2 laps younger, but he's suddenly much quicker than the guys around him, and that, if I'm honest, is surprising. So what, 11 laps, is that where they die? Is that where they start to fall off a cliff? Is that what Forium's going to have to endure in the next few laps? Because they're going to start to die this early on. Milik's is going to be looking very good here. I'm sure he knows himself, of course, that he did do a stint on them. But yeah, that's interesting to see the guys on 11 lap old tyres suddenly just start to fall off the pace. Although saying that, Danny is actually sort of closing on to the back of this group, so maybe I'm just talking a load of BS, but maybe only certain people are struggling.
Time we will know, because Milik's is only 1.7 seconds back now. It could be almost in DRS range by the end of this lap. And that will be go time.
He's certainly on target to be attacking him on this lap, I think. Or at least getting close, but his ERS is running low. They're both starting to run low now. So that's the issue. What does he do? What does he do? He knows he's quicker, so he knows he probably doesn't have to use that much ERS, but he knows he probably has to have enough to attack. Because tire life, quite frankly, isn't going to matter too much on the straight. You're both going for the top speed, so you need to have the ERS to attack or defend, of course. So, yeah, who does what with the ERS here? Because, I mean, flipping out, Forum's still low on fuel, look. It's a lot for him to consider. Milik's is running 0 ERS right now, so yeah, I'm not exactly interested in closing right now.
I imagine just anything but that back straight. I feel he's just a no-no on the ERS. He wants to save up all that juice so he can make this move fast. I imagine he's getting 2/10 there in 2 corners, so it's just closing all the time.
And now into overtake. For him, only on medium usage here, and Millix should close this gap down. And you can see that Pink Panther closing right up to you as you ride on board, and he still ends up at the end of that straight on the same ERS that Forium's on, and that's how saving helps you. And now we've got yellow flags. Who's this for? I fear it's a Red Bull. It's Mystic Man, yeah. And so Tumas will get the Red Bull's bragging rights, and he spins again, Mystic Man. Oh dear. So that's 14 lap old mediums. I don't know if they've hit the cliff for him, but he's certainly stock, isn't he? Oh, CIP's got Nick Nike. So we missed that one, but he did get him eventually in DRS, so he closed and got it done.
It looks like it happened at a hairpin down the inside.
Yeah.
But Millix here.
Oh, he's right on the back now, isn't he?
Much later on the brakes and Thorium, just in there alone. Just shows the difference in grip. He's 4/10 back going into turn 6 here, or 7. Don't quote me on that.
He's just in the middle sector.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with middle sector. Coming into the last one now. Yellow flag in sector 2. I'll look at that before we watch this battle.
I think that's Mystic Man again. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
This could cause a safety car if he's not careful, though. He needs to make sure he doesn't actually cause one. I don't think he will.
Here.
But yeah, this is where the lead.
The rear wing of Thorium. Coming out onto the back straight, Thorium occupies the centre of the track. He's drifting a bit over to the inside. Small bit left. Millix closing.
Oh.
Hot lap. To the outside goes Millix. Thorium on the inside. Thorium gets the exit. Millix leads. He's on the inside line for the final corner. Takes the lead.
Thorium's going to come back. He's on DRS again. Or is he not? Is it not working for him? It says he's got it, but he's going to go without it. Did he realise he had it or not, I wonder? But this is the issue now. Millix has got by basically what I said he needed to. But he now needs to make sure he gets the tyres there. And Thorium will know this. Thorium will see he's on them sauce. He'll know that they only have a certain amount of time to live. He just needs to stay close now. So, while you may think this is over, just we'll see what happens when the checker flag flies, shall we? Nick Mike, by the way,
indeed.
He's still close to CYP, so even though he was overtaken recently, he's certainly not giving up. And Danny, right on surface now as well, showing that he does have pace. He really does. I mean, he's pulled nearly 15 seconds on his teammate after passing him. That's incredible.
That is pretty crazy. Surface being second place runner-up last year.
He's drifted around the corners, Danny. He's really pushing it. It's incredible.
Yeah. Millix here. Thorium on quite low ERS, so he should hold the lead even. Here, he's got quite a gap out in front.
Still no DRS. Has he got a failure?
I think that might be a glitch. I'm not sure. It might be a failure. It might be just a glitch from our HUD display, but yeah, unsure. He's out of DRS range now, Millix.
Yeah, just quickly going to look at the penalties for these guys. It's 2 warnings for both of them, so they cannot afford a single mistake either. And here's Danny, by the way, going for it on DRS, and surface was just a sitting duck on that straight. And Danny gets passed into P8, and you just got to wonder what he could have achieved if he didn't DC earlier on with his lag issues. I mean, he DC'd only for about 30 seconds, but that will cost you quite a lot. You go from being, you to an 80 AI, 80% AI, just useless right down the track. So he could have lost a good 10-15 seconds, and that really would have put him right in that fight for the podium. So even though he's down in 8th place, I think we're going to see a lot from him this season, if he doesn't DC anymore, of course, that is.
Yeah, he's showed good pace to, like you said, to pull back, especially on our runner-up from last season, who's had, like his teammate, another nightmare race. It's just not going, like we say, it's just not going Ferrari's way this season at all. But Millix is nearly 2 seconds ahead of Thorium at this point. Like you say, though, slightest misconception of track limits could cost them. And Thorium the same. We'll see how it goes here.
Only positive is, I have noticed throughout the race, track limits doesn't seem to really be too harsh here, because some guys are, you know, going wide every single corner and getting away with it.
Yeah, there's one or two of them, yeah.
Interesting. So
the ones with the AstroTurf on the outside are a bit dodgy on the exits.
In the final corner, I don't see anyone getting warnings for that. I mean, they're flying off there and they're just getting away with it. So 3 laps to go then. I did mention Thorium's fuel, remember, earlier on, and it's still got a warning light. And you can see on his dash there, he is literally, he's minus 0.09, is that? So, I mean, he's down, basically, on fuel. That's all you need to know, really. So, he really needs to figure out what he's going to do here. He has to save eventually, but he needs to sort of keep within that 3 seconds, just in case Millix gets a penalty. So, yeah. It does feel a tad out of his control now, this race. He didn't stay close enough, he didn't really defend enough. I mean, he tried. He certainly gave it a go, but you can see he is fully sideways now through the corners. That is not an easy car to drive at the moment. And certainly the alternate strategy looks like it's working out brilliantly for Millix. From 10th on the grid, he's now just 2 laps away from taking the Chinese Grand Prix here in SLR. And it's safe to say it's going to be fully deserved if he can do it. And look at this as well. Danny is putting himself in this fight. He could still nick P6 here. We know he's a good battler. We know he's got good pace. He's in DRS range now. Nearly. So close on Nick Knight. We'll see if he didn't quite get it. So that's a shame for him now. He was close at the end of the middle section. Must have just lost it in the corner. But he's going to have 3. He's going to have 2 more attempts to catch these guys.
Could have a look at CYP into the hairpin here. He's in lower ERS, so he might have a look actually. Yeah, he chooses to stay behind for this lap. He's only got 1 more lap left to move it, make the move though, so time is short.
CYP's got much more ERS. This may help him here. Up in 71% there. Very healthy.
You can nearly leave it in hot lap for this lap.
Well, we've got 2 laps to go, so...
Oh, sorry, 27, yeah.
Yeah, you can wait this lap. Maybe just... I'm sure he's got enough anyway for the 2 last big straights. Anyway, so it should be fine. Thorium is actually keeping this gap, though. He is keeping the gap. His fuel is still just about in the minuses, but it's not by much. He should be fine. But if he is doing what he needs to do, he needs to keep that under 3 seconds. Because if he does, just in case Millix makes a mistake, he will be back in this win. And Millix tires, you'd imagine, are probably going to be dying at this point. So it's just about who's got bottle now. As long as he makes no mistakes, Millix should have this one. But you just cannot count on it just yet. And Danny, look at him now. He certainly will be in DRS this time, won't he? Right on the back of Nick Knight now. Only 3 tenths the gap. And I think Nick Knight's going to have to try and get down the road. But I don't know if he can. So let's see what happens. Down at the kilometre-long back straight, sliding as they go. Danny's still drifting around the corners as he's been doing basically the whole stint. That could cost him, you know, actually. Just got a little bit too eager on the throttle. And Nick Knight will be quite relieved that Danny isn't closing on him quickly. But look how confident he is in the brakes. He got that slowed down very well indeed. And does stay close. But we are now on to the final lap of this race. Thorium is just sliding around like mad. And he is still down on fuel, so he's going to have to start to slow down a little bit. And you know what? I mean, Millix isn't looking great on fuel either, but he is in the pluses at the moment, so we should be okay. Ooh, there's a little bit of tension in the air, but I think Millix should have this one under control.
A little bit. I don't want to be celebrating his win coming around the final corner too early, because it would be awkward if he extended the final corner and lost the win there. It would be a bit awkward. So I don't know if I want to do any celebrations at the start. But
Danny's done it at turn 6. Sorry to interrupt, but he's got him. He's got Nick Knight. Only 1 car to get now. And he could honestly complete a fantastic race. Not quite driver of the day because of Millix, but certainly going to be close. But here we go. Millix is down the back straight now. He's using all the ERS he's got in his car. But he's not quite got that at the 3 seconds yet. Luckily though, it looks like it isn't going to matter. Only 1 more corner to go. And Milix from 10th on the grid started on mediums and looks like he's going to be taking a very good victory here in the Chinese Grand Prix of SLR Season 5. Brilliant drive, and he will certainly enjoy that one. For him, P2 just didn't have the right strategy today, but still a very strong result for him. Blunt makes it 2. Haas is on the podium, which I'm sure they'll be very happy about. Alex, on his return, comes home in P4. Archie just 4 tenths behind in the end on penalties. And who's going to be 6th place? It looks like CIP for now, but Danny, yes, he will actually get 7th still, but Nick Nike goes up to 6th. Surfer's 8th, CIP 9th. 6 Seals, he should have no problems getting the last point now. And he fell way off in the end. I mean, he's miles off, isn't he?
He is a bit. CYP must have had a few penalties because he dropped right back down to 9th. So that was a bit dodgy from him. Tumas will be the last car across the line, coming through the hairpin now, and the final corner in the last remaining Red Bull. Missing out on points, unfortunately, but Milix, the hero today, tried a similar strategy in pre-season, didn't work out for him. He gets his redemption today in round 3 at Shanghai here in SLR, and a great drive from the Haas driver.
So there are the podium drivers. We see 4 in there once again, but this time it's not on the top step of the podium. It's all about Haas today. Milix taking the win, Blunt on the podium as well, and they have truly arrived this season. They're now proving that they are a force to be reckoned with, and they could really put themselves into the fight for the championship this season. And yeah, we're going to see how that one pans out. Ferrari, I mean, they could have had the pace eventually, once upon a time, but it seems to have completely fizzled away, and any hope for them now is a bit grim, even in the early stages of the season. It just doesn't look great for them, does it? They're going to have to try something different.
Yeah, it doesn't. They're just, nothing's working out for them at this point. Nothing seems to go right for Speed Sand Surface. I mean, I hate to say it, he just didn't seem on the pace today, which is something I'm not used to saying for a runner-up from last season. But
we're still waiting to find out, of course, what actually happened between Speedster and Evos. I mean, it looks like someone was doing it maliciously. We don't know which one, but it certainly didn't look very accident-ish. Let's say it wasn't an accident. There's no way that was an accident.
It was either a brake failure or, you know, we'll call it a brake failure. We'll call it a brake failure.
Someone had a very dramatic brake failure and just happened to run into someone.
We'll call it that.
Oh dear.
Just to not anger anyone.
But anyway, that has been round 3 of the season here in China. I believe we are at Canada next week, so stay tuned for that one. We'll have A1, I think, coming after this as well. So
7 o'clock.
I think you're doing that one, aren't you?
I am indeed, with Beery B.
Yeah, I'm sure to have fun with that one. And yeah, from me though, that is me for this week. So thanks for watching Tier 1, and like I say, enjoy A1, and we'll see you next time out. Safe travels, ladies and gentlemen.